So for lesson 2, you are actually going to be creating web pages this week and transferring them to the internet. So you're going to read through the book. This is going to give you some background information on HTML5, and then you're going to go into the lecture demo because this gives you a lot more detailed information. And so we kind of start out with the history of HTML, and then we get into the basic structure of a page. And then we get into specific elements that you are going to be adding to your pages. And where possible, I always give you examples so that you can see how things look. And I also give you interactive examples so you can kind of see how they work on a page. And as you go through here, you will also see links. And these links will take you to interactive sites where you can actually practice what you're learning. So you can change the tags and you can run this to see what that looks like. Okay, and that's how you learn. Okay, you read about it and you do it. That to me is the best way to learn HTML and any type of coding class. So as you go through here, anytime you see a link that will let you practice, I encourage you to do that. There is an awful lot of information in here. Make sure you read through all of it. And then once you are done, you're going to do the textbook assignment. And there's two types of assignments in this class. We have textbook assignments, which are directive. There are videos that go with the different tasks, and the videos tell you and show you what to do. The lab assignments are usually a little more free format. There's minimal requirements that you need to meet. And sometimes there's videos, sometimes there's not. It just depends on what we're doing. But you get to be a little bit more creative and you get to choose your topics and that type of thing. So when we go into the textbook assignment, you'll notice that we have different tasks and then there's video links. So the easiest way to do this and what seems to work the best for students is if you have a mobile device or a second monitor, if you can watch the video on that and then open up VS Code, you can actually do the activity while you're watching the video because you can pause the video, you can rewind it. That is the quickest way to get the assignments done. So you'll notice that in this one, you're directed to create a folder with a specific name, and within that folder, create another folder. With web pages, the way you structure your site and how you name things matters. And so that is why these directions are very specific. Students who do not name their folders and pages the same as the directions are going to run into trouble when we create links. Okay, so try to stick with the naming conventions here because they are designed to make your life a little easier. So as you go through here, there's directions, there's videos, and you'll kind of work through this. And then at the very bottom, it'll have a summary of what you need to turn in. And there's also directions on how to transfer those files. And this is using FileZilla. So there is a video, okay, directions on how to transfer, and you will have an email from me indicating, what your username is and what your password is. So look for that email because everybody's is going to be a little bit different. And you should get that email at the end of week 1. Now, if you're working ahead and it's not at the end of week 1, you probably haven't gotten the email yet. Okay, so I will be creating those accounts at the end of the first week. Okay, but this tells you how to use FileZilla for FTP. Also, how to replace files if you need to make modifications to them. Okay, so directions on how to do that, and then additional commands that you may find useful. Validating your pages, you will validate the pages after you have transferred them because you'll kind of click up here, press Control and C to copy that and use the link in the validator. So when you validate pages, you'll probably see some warnings. You don't need to correct those. The validator is not perfect, and sometimes it will say something is an error when it is not an error, especially if you have kind of a complex page. So look for typos. That's the kind of thing I want you to fix. And if you're not sure if something is a problem or not, just send me an email and I'll take a look at it. But in general, the reason I'm having you use the validator is to catch typos, okay? Because typos will mess up your page. They're easy to make, especially when you're beginning, and the validator can help you catch those. At the bottom here is everything that you needed to do in this textbook assignment and how those different activities are going to be scored. Now, once you are done, you've created all these pages, you have transferred it to the web. What you need to do is go into the Dropbox and submit done. So all you need to do down here is key in the word done and save your changes. And that way I know that I should go out and check your website. Once you finish the textbook assignment, you can move on to the lab assignment. And the lab assignment for this week is a little bit more directive because you are going to be creating a page that will eventually have links to all of your assignments. And so this is the page I'm going to pull up when I'm correcting your work. And I'm going to show you what this is going to kind of look like. So you are kind of setting up for something that will look like this eventually. So you'll have your textbook assignments, and then these are eventually going to be links that are going to take you to the different assignment pages. As you complete work, you'll be adding to that, and then you'll have the lab assignment section, and this will take you to the different lab assignment pages. Okay, so this is kind of what your end result is going to look like. And the folder structure should be like this. You're going to have your folder called CIT180. And then inside that, you're going to have your different lesson folders. And then below the lesson folders, that is where the assignment page is going to go. Okay, so that's what your structure is going to look like. So once you have this, you will save the page, transfer it to the main directory. So it's going to go below your lesson 2 folder. Do not put it inside the lesson 2 folder. Put it below. Okay. And then at that point, you're going to be pretty much done with that. Here's the grading rubric. And you can come back over here, go into the Dropbox, and then you will submit done. Okay, and then you'll just save those changes. So that is the textbook and the lab assignment for this week. We also have a discussion forum. Make sure you guys do the discussion forums because they are a way for you to interact with each other and they are worth points. So you can kind of see right here that you get points for doing this. And this first forum is kind of fun because you are going to be finding an award-winning site that you like. So there is no right or wrong for this because it's what you think looks good. In fact, you can actually copy award-winning HTML5 websites. You can copy that and you can do a little search on it. Okay, and then you can take a look at your results. And I want you to find a site that you like. Or maybe that you don't dislike. And then you will post a link to that site. So I'm going to pause while I can find a site that I think looks okay. And then I'll show you how to do this. All right, so I found kind of an interesting site. I really like the graphics. I think it's pretty cool. So I am going to go ahead and copy this. So if you click on it and press Control-C, that'll copy. Add a new discussion. And then you need to paste a link in here. So if I click on this and I do the little link, I can actually press Control and V as in vase. And I'll open it in a new window and click on Create Link. That way you guys can see it. Okay, and then explain what you like about this site and point out anything you don't like. All right, so what I liked about that site. I love the graphics. I think it's super awesome. And I like the animation. And I pretty much like everything about this site. I think it is super cool. So I like kind of the simplicity. It's not overly busy. I like the way they've got this menu off to the side. And I like pretty much the whole layout. If I had to give a critique, I don't know, maybe that text could be bigger, but this is a pretty awesome site. So I like the color, theme, graphics, the layout, and everything else. The menu on the right could have been a little bigger. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and post this. And you guys are going to need to do something similar. And then once the students have all posted something, you need to reply to at least 2. And if nobody has posted anything, you certainly can reply to mine. So that is the last thing that you need to do for this week. Again, there is a textbook assignment, there is a lab assignment, and the discussion forum. So have an awesome week. Let me know if you run into any problems or if you have any questions. And I look forward to seeing what you guys are going to post to the discussion forum, because this is kind of a fun one.